Hi, so we're trying to find out if religion affects Penn State students' sexual activity and drive. Please state your religion and how you feel about this topic.
I'm Jewish, and it has no effect on my sexual beliefs and actions.
What do you think affects
I
it
think
if it's not religion?
society affects your actions way more than religion, especially in modern times,
Especially at Penn State?
especially in Penn State.
Is it because of the actions of your peers that rub off on you? Is it
Yeah.
because of...
Yeah, it's the action of people our age these days in college. I think we have our own little society and it has nothing to do with religion.
And has no influence at all.
You're Roman Catholic?
Yeah, no influence whatsoever.
Why?
I feel like this day and age, like, it doesn't really influence me, myself. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but me, myself.
So you think that it's a matter of the times? Like, just because of the age we
Definitely.
live in,
Definitely.
it affects your sexuality.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's changed from high school to when you arrived at Penn State?
Well, I went to a Catholic high school, so I think it was kind of the same, but even in New York City, it wasn't that big of a change.
Did the Catholic high school education maybe change that, make you rebel, make you...
No, it really didn't influence me like that in any way or sort.
Cool. Hi, how does religion affect your sexual decisions on this college campus at Penn State?
Well, my religion, which is Christianity, affects my decision to have sex or not, because I believe that sex is made for marriage, and so that prevents me from going any further when it comes to sexual desires. That's all.
All right, and do you believe that this is something that's been deep-rooted since you were a child, from your family traditions, or just something that you personally hold strongly to?
Also, did it change at all when you came to Penn State from high school?
I think it's been something that I grew up with, because my parents also share the same beliefs as I do.
Right.
So my family definitely has a big impact on my views, but it's also something that I've kept up on my own.
And what is your religious affiliation?
Christianity, he said.
I'm Christian.
Christianity, okay.
Protestant.
Thanks.
Religion has no effect on sexual preferences or my sexual actions.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I guess I don't associate religion with sex whatsoever.
Was that something that you learned, like, from family, like, from home, from, like...
I guess I just kind of, I was never really into religion. I just kind of came up with it myself.
your own internal religion,
Yeah.
sort of?
Mm-hmm.
And in your world, that means sex is okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Concern me more than my religion.
Do you feel like being a part of a specific, like, social group at Penn State has affected that? Or a sorority or fraternities or anything like that?
I would think that being classified in a sorority, I'm perceived to be more sexually active than other girls would be perceived as. So therefore I have a guard up with the way people perceive and expect me to be and act.
So that internally
Like
affects the way you...
internally, like I have to I internally need to
adapt to
the people's expectations and norms.
And what religion are you?
Jewish.
Cool, thanks. How does your religion affect your sexual desires, drives, and actions, and has that changed since you've arrived as a student at Penn State?
I don't think my religion, which is Christian, has affected my sexual drive. I would say it's still the same since high school. I'm not really waiting for marriage. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Or the right person, per se?
No, not the right person. Just the right moment.
Okay.
So you would say religion has affected you the same in high school as it has here at Penn State?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to do with it.
All right. And for you?
My religion doesn't affect me. It's basically the same thing as her.
Okay. And your religious affiliation is what?
Christian.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
I would say that happened sometime around maybe my junior or senior year of high school, actually. So I wouldn't say it was the influence of Penn State that made that happen.
Why do you think that was then?
I don't know. It just sort of happened. I just
Naturally?
became somewhat skeptical of my religion, but I actually kept that. Not the belief that I'd be punished for engaging in any sexual activity outside of marriage, but that it might actually be best for me overall. Not necessarily that I wait till marriage, but that if I find someone who is
It'd be good for
deeply
your
in love with
relationship.
me. Yeah, good for my relationship. Just good for me personally.
Okay.
But nothing to do with a divine force or a higher power.
It's almost like your religion gave you the insight to make better decisions, but not necessarily dictated your actual actions.
Right.
If you did meet a girl that you were interested in and she wanted to wait till marriage, how would you feel about that?
Religion really hasn't affected my decisions sexually here at Penn State. I'm Jewish, but if someone wanted to wait until marriage, I probably would have to find another person to become interested in. The only way religion plays in is with my parents wanting me to maybe marry someone that's Jewish, but besides that, it doesn't play a role at all.
And do you think that is more heightened because you're at Penn State in college versus at home when you were in high school?
Maybe just because we were younger in high school, so like you weren't expecting people to put out as much. But besides that, I think, in my opinion, state
school, I still went to church and stuff somewhat more because of parents, and it didn't affect me at all. I still did whatever I wanted to. I wouldn't, Catholic Church preaches no premarital sex, and I'm not married yet, but I'm definitely not a virgin, so
Yeah.
if that answers the question.
And what do you think the driving force is for your sexual activity for students or yourself?
Alcohol for a lot. I mean, for me, more so just, I'm with somebody, so it's like, but nothing, religion, definitely, for me and at least other people I know, they don't, practice by what they say or what they claim to be, so I don't think religion has much of an effect on college life as much as, for some people, but I would say it's definitely a minority.
How do you feel about sexual activity at Penn State and whether or not religion affects your decisions?
Well, religion doesn't really affect my decisions. I'm Jewish, but I think it's more so like my family's values and like watching, learning from my parents and like watching my older sister. I think that more so affects what I believe and do.
And do you feel like that you've carried that to Penn State as a senior, that even though you've been around this environment for so long that you still hold true to those values?
Yeah, I think that they're always going to be in my mind, in the back of my head, and like guide the way I make my decisions.
Well, growing up Christian, that obviously taught me how to be like a good person going forward. I don't really adhere to like the 10 Commandments or nothing like that. But I mean, I know enough to like not kill anybody.
What shaped that idea? Just you. It's just you.
Like growing up Christian, like it kind of led me to have an open mind about sex in general, and then which led me to have an open mind about homosexuality and stuff like that.
My last question is, what do you think about the diversity on campus in regards to religion and its basing on people's sexual, behaviors?
I would say Penn State as a whole, as compared to other universities, it is diverse, but it's a far cry from what it should be.